Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy right here, Mills. I'm here back with another video. I need you to do me a big solid favor. Hit that thumbs up button, click like this video, and we're gonna jump right into it. So we are on episode 8, season 3, Baddies West, entitled The Special Guest. So let's jump right into it. So we picked back up where we left off at last week when we got drunk ass Razor going against stubborn ass Stunna girl. You know, Razor got her wig snatched off for getting all up in Stunna girl's face. So Razor's pissed off. She's going off, yelling, causing a scene. I'm like, girl, shut the hell up. Like, you're doing too much. You know what I'm saying? Control your liquor. I can't stand somebody who can't control their liquor. But either way, you know what I'm saying? You know, so they had to be separated. You know, Razor's on the bus, you know, with Low. And you know, Stunna, she's in the I think she was in the Sprinter car or something like that. You know, Razor just yelling, screaming like a wild banshee, just yelling. She a little ass girl, you know. And like I said, the whole situation was stupid from the beginning. Like, I understand, like I said in my last review, I understand that you was coming from a good place, and I understand you was really just being a good person. You know, you got a good heart. But you see how Stunna girl is. You know, she don't like to take constructive criticism. She don't like nobody to tell her what to do. So just mind your business. That's all. Mind your business. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, Natalie, she going on. She like, yo, you know, we can't be doing this. You know, y'all gonna get us banned. We not gonna be able to fly. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to get blocked off the no-fly zone and stuff like that. And I'm just like, yo, this is crazy. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, girl, you low-key like the drama, so cut it out. You know what I'm saying? You know, so that was that. You know, and then we cut to the scene where you know, the girls that was on the bus ride into Arizona, you know, the other girls, you know, they decided to call Krishawn, you know, to check up on her, see where she at. Krishawn is still in LA. She got a court date, you know, so she's missing. And a lot of people feel like that she should get paid. She should get her paid, doc, because she's not here committing to the episodes. She's, you know, if everybody got to be here, she should be here too. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about that. So anyway, you know, the girls started opening up. You know, Rolly decides that she want to have a deep conversation. So she decides, you know, to start talking about her depression and how, you know, she was in the shelter home with her son. And, you know, it got real personal, and that she smokes a lot to cope the pain. You know, and I didn't know that because Rolly gives me big girl confidence, you know what I'm saying? So to see her, you know, open up about that, I never knew, and she hides it well. And like I said, I love me some Roly Poly. So, you know, hopefully you in a better space right now, and we wish you all the best, Rolly. You know, so then DJ Sky, she talks about how her dad died from COVID, you know, and I can relate to that. Well, you know, I lost my grandmother to COVID, you know, so COVID was a real rough time. 2020, 2022, you know, which is a really rough time. We still, you know, getting over this whole pandemic. So, you know, that was a little, you know, nice little moment, you know, DJ Scott had. Even Kat had a little emotional moment because she lost her best friend, you know, her best friend. She said, you know, she said that he put her on, you know, her first magazine. It was there, you know, throughout her. So she got emotional. You know, I never seen Kat emotional. So, you know, it's real when Kat started getting emotional. You know, so this is a real powerful scene right here. You know, Tommie talks about, you know, she ain't really say too much. You know, she like, oh, you know my story already. I'm like, yo, we know your story, girl. And then Biggie talks about her struggle, how she was being bullied, and you know, she was too Spanish to be with the Spanish girls, and she was too black to be with the black girls. You know, so like I said, this is like probably much the most realest scene in this whole season of all this stuff. You know, I miss the BCG days, you know, when they used to talk about real life stuff, you know. So that was that. Then we get back to the other girls. Razor is just going off, and then out of nowhere she like, oh, I don't want Scotty sitting next to me. You know, she started going off on Scotty, you know, I don't want her next to me. Scotty in her confessional like, oh, Razor her third personality. you know, she just going off, you know, so she screaming. Low was all over it. You could tell Low is all over the drama, you know. Low better than me, because, you know, at the end of the day, you're not going to be all in my face yelling and shit. That's what got your wig snatched. Because you're doing too damn much, you know what I'm saying? And I did like the fact that Scotty was mature enough to move out the way. I don't know about y'all, but you know, I love Razor. I do. I like Razor. I ain't gonna say I love her. I like Razor. I think when she's sober, she's good. When she drink, I don't know what it is, but it's like something take over her. She be doing the absolute most. She, like I said, all that yelling and screaming. I'm like, she would have got punched in her throat. And then you getting in my face, yelling and screaming, spitting, you would have got punched in the throat. Just like that, because you're doing too much. I don't think that Razor has a drinking problem. I think she has a problem with drinking, if that makes sense. Like, I don't think that she just gonna pick up a bottle and, like, I don't think she's an alcoholic. I just think that when she drinks, she don't know how to control and limit her drinking, if that makes sense to y'all. You know, drunk ass Razor then decides to call Krishan. You know, she calls Krishan, you know, to talk about, you know, to tell Krishan what was going on. And I'm like, why you getting Krishan involved? This have nothing to do with Krishan. Krishan not even here. And then you telling Krishan to talk to Stunna. I'm like, Krishan and Stunna is pretty much one of the damn same, because they both act the same. They both don't like to be told what to say. So I'm not understanding what's really the issue and why you getting, like I said, why you inserting other people in your drama. So that's on that. The girls finally arrived at the Arizona house. You know, Natalie is over it at this point. You know, she's like, yo, at the end of the day, everybody, you know, just go to your room. I don't even care. Just go to your room and all this other stuff like that. I will say that the house was actually a nice ass house. You know, this is the best house that I've seen so far. You know, like I said, Natalie, she pissed off. You know, Razor still going off. I'm like, girl, you still mad? You still mad over getting your wig snatched? You know, so then, you know, they going through the house and stuff like that. So Razor and Lo were talking. She's still yelling at Lo. I don't know how Lo doing it. I don't know how Lo is. I don't know how she keeping her composure. Cause she going off. She's like, get out my room. I don't want nobody in my room. Everybody need to get out. Just get out. I don't want to talk to nobody. Lo mad. Like, you know what? Listen, I ain't got time for it. Listen, Lo, I'm with you 100%, because it just wouldn't have been me. Because I don't know how you doing it, because this wouldn't have been me. Scotty mad because she got a room with Biggie and Scott and his bunk bed ass room. I'm like, yo, we grown as hell. Why can't everybody have their own room? Like, I'm not understanding how we all grown, but we gotta share a room. And then you gonna have me on the bunk bed room too? Scotty was like, excuse me, Scotty was like, oh, I should have switched on Razor's tag and stuff like that. I'm like, but you didn't do it, girl, so whatever. You know. So Stunna talks to Natalie. You know, Stunna like, yo, I could coexist, you know, because Natalie asked Stunna, can she coexist with her? Stunna like, well, I did it any other time we was out, so I don't have a problem. I just don't like, you know, Stunna just like, I'm just tired of these girls thinking they could talk to me and tell me what to do. Natalie, like I said, she goes on. She's like, you know what, I'm going to bed before the other girls get there, whatever like that. So the other girls arrives to the house, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got their own room. Rolly happy that she got her own room. Biggie is pissed off. Biggie is pissed because she, like I said, she got to share that room, a bunk bed with Scott. So she starts calling yo, my God, she bitch. You know, Biggie, I can't do her voice, but you know, she pissed off. So she go to Tommie. She like, oh no, I'm not doing this. You know, I ain't never see Biggie that mad. Even when she fought Stunna, she wasn't that pissed. She was really mad about that room. I'm like, yeah, girl. Yeah, I would be too. Like I said, we grown. Like, I'm not understanding. You put me on this show for me to be sharing bunk beds, and like, come on. Everybody in here is a baddie, so they say, so they should be getting their own room. This ain't no camp. That should remind me of camp. Anyway, so the next day, Natalie and Tommie, they meet up. You know, and by the way, I will say Tommie was looking good. Like, Tommie could dress. That's one thing I can say about Tommie. So she was that red little outfit, little jacket she had on. She looked it real nice, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, Natalie, you know, they talking, they meet up and talk. Natalie tell Tommie about the issues that they had on the PJ, the private jet, you know. And then she shows Tommie the actual footage of the fight. Well, Tommie like, well, damn, y'all went through all this. We ain't go through all this. You know, we was over here having a good time. We don't rob the store and all that stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, it wouldn't have happened. Like, and Natalie like, oh, I should have been with y'all. I'm like, well, what you should have did, EP, You shouldn't have had them. I was like, Natalie always like to have them talk about things. I'm like, you could have did what Tommie did. Just have fun, you know, get the girls to talk about other things, you know, just have fun, play a drinking game, you know, diffuse the situation. Why you always keep having these conversations and stuff? That's how the fights always happen, you know. So Natalie feel like they should have a conversation with Razor to try to get her, you know, to tell her about her drinking and stuff like that. And you know, and Tommie was like, oh well, I think we need to baby, we need to have, like, if we know she get drunk, we need to have somebody to babysit her and tell her when to stop. I'm like, nah, it won't be me, because everybody grown, and at the end of the day, I'm not here, I didn't come here to babysit nobody. I don't have no kids, so why am I babysitting somebody for, you know? So that's just on that. Next we get Stunna and Cat. They outside, they talking, you know, they gotta do the recaps about everything that happened. You know, Cat told Stunna everything that happened, what she was doing. Stunna throwing shade like, yeah, y'all too old to be stealing and stuff like that. I'm like, Stunna is so shady. But you know, like I said, they doing a little recap or whatever like that. And then Stunna said something that was interesting in the confession. She was like, well, I'm glad that Cat is able to go out and enjoy herself with the other girls, because she is all up under me all the time. So it's good that she getting to enjoy herself. And I'm like, do y'all really feel like Cat is up Stunna girl's ass? I mean, that's how it seems to me. And I'm like, I was happy to see that Cat was in the scene with other girls besides Stunna girl. Because like I said, I don't know, I just wish that Cat really would just separate herself. Not separate herself from Stunna girl, but separate, yeah, you know, separate, yeah. Because like I said, it just makes you look like you a follower of Stunna girl. And you're, like, I understand, you know, you rock with her, whatever the case may be, but I don't know, I kind of don't like that. And I love me some Cat, but you know, that's just that. Stunna tells Cat about her issues, and you know how she got into it with Razor, you know. And then Cat was like, well, at the end of the day, she shouldn't tell nobody what to do, because she had her own problems as well. So she shouldn't be telling nobody how to behave and what to do when she's out here doing the same thing. I'm like, that is true. That is true at the end of the day. I mean, like I said, the girl was pissy drunk, y'all. So you got to realize that, you know. So that was that scene. So the next scene, we get Rolly, Biggie, and Low. They outside. They chopping it up, you know. They gotta once again tell everybody what happened and stuff like that, you know. So they like, oh yeah, on Low tells no, Rolly and them tells Low that they was out, you know, they had fun on the bus, you know, they robbed the store once again. And like I said, they didn't really rob that store. I don't care what nobody say, that was all staged. I think it was paid for, you know. I just think it was a little stage, a little whatever. You know, Low tells them what happened on the private jet. You know, Biggie like, well, you can't, in her confessional, she's like, well, you can't take that little hood rat nowhere, you know. Her throwing shade at Stunna. And then, you know, Rolly like, you know, Razor, you know, I like Razor, she's cool, but she need to stop drinking, because it seems like her drinking is really getting the best of her, and she turned into a whole nother person, and Razor got a lot to lose, and she got businesses, so she need to really be careful. And I'm like, okay, I understand where Rolly coming from, you know, because, you know, it is true, like, Razor does a lot when she drink. And Rolly wasn't coming from a negative place, she was coming from a concerning place. So that's why I rock with Rolly. You know, Low like, oh, you know, well, we need to get paid with our checks and stuff, that we need to get paid. But did y'all see how the shady producers, the editor of the show, when they zoomed in on Biggie's facial hair, I said, oh my gosh, Zeus is shady. But you know, hey, it is what it is. So then we get the next scene, we get Tommie and Razor, they talking, you know. Tommie asks her, was like, yo, what's going on with your drinking? Do you feel like, you know, you have a problem? Or do you feel like, you know, you cope with your drinking to deal with certain issues? Razor was like, yeah, you know, she feel like that she can't be herself around here. She feel like she can't ask no questions. She feel like she can't give constructive criticism. So she feel like she has to drink, you know, to deal with a lot of the issues that's going on in the house, which is unfortunate, because I feel like you shouldn't have to do that, you know. Tommie like, yeah, I feel you, because you know, I've been through that. I'm like, girl, you been through it and you still going through it. Tommie funny, like, girl, you still going through it. So you know, they just having a little heart to heart and stuff like that. And then here comes Natalie and Scotty coming down. I'm like, why are you bringing Scotty down? Clearly, you know, she don't like this girl. You keep bringing her around this girl. So they come in, and Razor was like, "Well, do you think I have a problem, or what do you think about the whole situation?" Natalie straight up tell her, she was like, at the end of the day, you cool, whatever, when you drink, but then, like, it turns up when you turn up too much, you start getting loud, you get aggressive. Razor was like, well, at the end of the day, it's only been one time, and Natalie was like, nah, this ain't the first time, So I'm like, okay. I mean, Natalie is telling the truth. And then Scotty was like, I just do feel like, I feel like when you drunk, you got it out for me for some reason. You always target me when you upset. And Razor was like, well, I apologize about that. I don't have a problem with you, stuff like that. And Scotty was like, yeah, whatever. Scotty knows what's up. But at the end of the day, I look at it like this. I feel like she don't like Scotty. It's something about Scotty that triggers her when she drink. She don't like him. That's how I feel about that, I really feel about that. I really feel like she just really don't like Scotty. And, is it wrong? I mean, I don't really feel like Scotty did anything really towards her, but, I mean, that's how Razor feel, and only Razor feels that way. So that was pretty much that scene. Oh, prior to the scene when they was, when Natalie and, Tommie was in the kitchen talking, before they were talking about when they was going out tonight to perform and stuff like that, Natalie was saying that if, the girls get into a fight, anything, they getting sent home. And I'm like, okay. I just feel like at the end of the day, you need some type of structure on this show. They should get fined for, like, you know what I'm saying? Because it just was a lot. But I will say this episode, Natalie was more likable this episode. She was really in her producer mood. And this episode, I really can't even get mad at Natalie. Really. So she doing her big one in this scene. So then the next scene, all the girls, they start getting dressed, they getting ready to go out to the club and stuff like that. So then the girls all meet up downstairs, they start addressing like the club appearances and who's performing and all the stuff like that. Lo said she wants to perform, and Natalie was like, no. I know her song, because her song wasn't really all the way finished. So Natalie was like, nah, I love you, but nah. Which is, I agree with that, because whatever like that. It would make sense. And then they goes in on DJ's car and was like, you're not performing, you're just DJing. And DJ Scott was like, I already know, I know what it is. Stunna said she's not going because she don't feel good, she got a fever. Here comes shady ass Biggie in her confessional, but this shit took me out. She was like, Stunna, off that lean, and you going through withdrawals. You withdrawing. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, yo, Biggie. You know what? I am gonna hold you. In the beginning, I wasn't really feeling Biggie, but the first episode, she really turned me off. But like, as the show is progressing, I'm really starting to like Biggie because she funny with it, So they talks about how they talk about the money situation and how to get paid and who gonna get paid and stuff like that. So this is when they get crazy for me, because they only made $20K from that last performance, and they have to split $20K 11 ways, which means the girls only gonna get about what, $1,800. So that was on that. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. But I'm like, whatever. Rolly feels like the performer should get paid more. Tommie feels the same way. Low like, nah, I'm not feeling that way, because at the end of the day, we all here to perform. We all on the flyer, so we should be getting paid the same amount. Now this is when this scene right here was a good scene, and because I felt like it was real, and I don't mind the girls arguing when it's real, like stuff like this. Like when this just be over petty stuff, I don't really care for the drama. But this was a real scene right here, and I understood where Lo was coming from. I understood where Tommie was coming from, but my question with that was, you saying that you're a producer and stuff like that, but you are a part of the ensemble cast as well. So I'm confused with that, and I would have thought that Natalie and Tommie would have had their own separate bag, because they get paid the most, I assume. So I thought that they wasn't even going to get a part of that. I thought Natalie just would have and Tommie would have got a big separate bag or whatever, like a separate bag from them. So I understood what Lo was saying, because Lo was like, well, this is not a concert, you know what I'm saying? This is a club appearance, stuff like that. So I get it. I get both parts of the situation. I understand Lo's side, and I understand Tommie's side. You know what I'm saying? I just think that Tommie. The thing was that Tommie just took it a whole. She just went left field. I'm like, girl, like we're having a conversation. Like nobody's getting smart or whatever. So why are you kicking off your shoes, getting up, standing up, doing the absolute most? And I'm like, see, just an episode or two ago, you was the peacemaker. Now you're the aggressor. I'm like, see, these girls. I don't know, you know. So she kicking her shoes. I'm like, when do y'all stand up? Because I'm like, who? It wouldn't have been me. Because soon as she took off her shoes and started walking up, I would have stood up. You know how these girls is. You know, Krishan snuck you. Tommie's walking towards you. Stand on your ground because you don't know when these girls want to hit you. You don't want to get caught off guard and then say you got snuck again. You got to pay attention to the scenario. You got to pay attention to people, how they is. You know what I'm saying? Because these girls, they do them. But, and that was pretty much the episode. Next week episode, you know, they go out, Tommie hit a fan, and then we see Stunna Girl call out Biggie and Tommie and stuff like that. And that was pretty much the episode. This episode was this probably was, to me, was one of the best episodes because it gave me a little bit of everything. It gave me a little bit of comedy, it gave me a little bit of drama, it gave me a lot of realness. Like I said, this was the best episode of the season thus far. And that's pretty much it, y'all. To me, I'm gonna tell you who my faves are so far. I'm feeling Low. I'm feeling Kat, even though I don't like her being around Stunna Girl's ass all the time. I do like Razor until she stopped drinking. Until she started drinking. Scotty has been cool. You know, she don't really do too much. You know. Who else? I'm starting to like Biggie low key. You know. DJ Sky, she been okay the last couple episodes. Krishan not there a lot of the times. Tommie does a lot. Natalie she's been okay. I mean, she do her little messiness, but she alright, you know what I'm saying? But this season so far is good though. Like I said, if I had to rate this episode out of a 1 through 10, I would give it like a 9. Because like I said, it was pretty much a good episode. Thank y'all for watching my video. Y'all really blew up my last video. Thank you for all the comments and the likes. I think I'm at 25K. And thank y'all once again. Like I said, I'm trying to grow my channel, build my channel. So thank y'all for supporting me, and I'm gonna catch you in the next video. Next time I'm out. Peace.